Hello, clever people, and welcome to my review for Green Book. So Green Book stars Mahershala Ali and Viggo Mortensen, and it follows the true story of the Don Cheadle, something like that, this Don something trio, which was a trio of jazz players. There was a pianist who was the main focus, played by Mahershala Ali, and then there was a bassist and a cello. And in order to get across the country and get to a bunch of different places, they needed a driver for Don Shirley. Don Shirley is the name. So they decided to hire this one guy from the Bronx. He was an Italian man. He was played by Viggo Mortensen. And it follows their story together, how he gets out of a job and he needs somewhere to go, and this comes up, and the friendship that they form while traveling across the country, and everything involved with that. And I thought that this was a really sweet movie. I'd been excited for this for a little bit of time. I thought that the trailers just looked okay, but earlier reviews had very shining things to say about it, and I can tell why the trailers were marketed in the way that they were, because they do match the tone of the movie. They do. They absolutely do. My issue with the trailers is that it gave off the kind of energy that like a Netflix original would. It definitely doesn't have this. What this does have is the type of old person attractability and the type of enjoyability, and it really does have a very strong feeling of happiness, at least by the end of the movie. Leading up to there's a lot of hardships. Obviously, going through Alabama and through all the South, obviously an African American jazz player is going to have a lot of issues with racism, and they tackled those, what in my opinion was very well. I've heard a lot of people say that it felt a lot like White Guilt, but I didn't really feel that too much. I think that this was a really well-paced movie that showed the racist side of things pretty well, honestly, and a lot less preachy than a lot of other movies that have come out recently. I think that the acting in this movie is absolutely terrific. Mahershala Ali plays a very good meditative, slow thinker, and Viggo Mortensen really did commit for this role. He fits it perfectly. Both of them, they're not actors that are too recognizable to the point that you see them and you can only think of that actor. Yet at the same time, they're well known enough to the point, that they're talented. Like, to be a fully talented actor, you're probably well known. So I'm glad that they picked out people that are kind of known, but not too well known, so that I didn't, typecast them. I saw them and I didn't even know it was Mahershala Ali until I left the theater. I didn't know it was Viggo Mortensen until I left the theater. And I really do like that, because the actors dedicated to their characters, and they were realistic and believable enough. I'd say that in terms of issues with the movie, I'd say that sometimes it goes a bit overboard on the feel-good type thing. I think that sometimes it tries to make you feel a bit too good. I'd say that they hold it back for the most part well, but it's like two scenes here and there, particularly one scene where there is the second time a policeman stops them. It was a little bit overboard. It was a little bit, did not need to be in there, but the rest of it was fine. I think that Green Book is a perfectly enjoyable movie. I think that its problems are really small, other than also the fact that it's not too memorable. It's a nice movie for now. It's just, it isn't gonna last past this Oscar season, I'd say. I think it'll get a few Oscar nominations. I just think past that, it'll be pretty much forgotten and it'll be shown on TV a lot. It has that type of feeling of a movie. It's nothing new, nothing impactful, but I still did enjoy Green Book a lot, and I will give Green Book a 7.5 out of 10. Alright, that concludes my review for Green Book. So, what are your thoughts on this film, or do you think that this movie has Oscar possibilities? Comment in the comment section below and let me know. I'm Robert Burke, and this has been The Clever Critics. Goodbye.